Hi, I'm Rob Pelk, founder of woodslabs.com, your source for epoxy, wood slabs, colorants, hairpin legs, table bases, wood finishes, and more. Today we're talking about epoxy, mostly deep pour epoxy, and how do you color that epoxy? There's a lot of questions we get from customers and we get online of how do I get the swirls and the metallic sparkle versus how do I get transparent epoxy. There's a few different ways to do that. We're going to talk about the differences and the choices of colorants today for epoxy. So when we're filling big voids, knots, making river tables here at woodslabs.com, our go-to epoxy for the big knots, big voids, and those river tables is the WiseBond Deep Pour Epoxy. It's a 2-to-1 ratio of resin to hardener, and we can pour this really thick, up to about 2.5 inches thick, all in one go. And that gives you some of those big cool swirls that you see in some of the river tables. It also, if you pour it clear, it has really good clarity, it has good bonding strength, it routs and sands nicely. So that's the WiseBond Deep Pour. It's a 2-to-1. We do sell it on our woodslabs.com website. We use it in our classes when we give epoxy classes here, and we pour it just about every day. So it's time tested in our production environment and a lot of customers throughout the US. Okay, so in your epoxy deep pour, don't be cheap. You're basically gonna get what you pay for. So like I said, we recommend up and down the WiseBond Deep Pour. And one of the main reasons is the clarity. This is a non-yellowing epoxy, has a lot of UV resistance in it, and you get really good clarity with this. Now, if you're new to doing epoxy, we don't recommend you go out and you pour clear your first time on your first project, because there are some considerations to be made for reducing the bubbles that can come off the wood or off the object. I know the guys are screwing around, putting some pizza. One of the guys' lunch got trapped in epoxy, and looks like they stole his dessert. They took an orange, put it in epoxy. So just a funny example, you can cast anything in epoxy, okay? But if you're going to do the clear casting or even the tinted casting that's tinted orange, don't make it your first project. The mica powder is the easiest one to start off with, but this is one epoxy you can choose that will give you a good all-around use for no matter what dye or what clarity you're looking for.